Hello everyone and welcome to the class. Today we're talking all about Microsoft OneNote. It's a fantastic little piece of software. It runs on pretty much everything out there. It's an alternative to Evernote and I think you're going to enjoy it. This class that you're about to view was taped live. If any of you out there would like to attend one of our live classes, they're a lot of fun, and recently we upgraded our technology so that now we can support 500 users for each live class that we offer. So they're a lot of fun. I hope you'll check them out. Without any further ado, here it is, OneNote for Windows, coming up on PCClassesOnline.com. Hello everyone and welcome to the class. This is David A. Cox with PCClassesOnline.com, and today we're talking all about Microsoft OneNote. Now, the version I'm showing you right here is running on Windows 8.1. We do also have a class on the same software, which is already on our website on the version made for the Mac. So if you were looking for that, I'd like to direct you to go to the other video. And for those of you who are watching this after the fact, after we've recorded it and it's published on our website as well as YouTube, I will include a link to that video should you need it in the description. So today we're talking about OneNote, and OneNote is a great piece of software. It is a competitor to another piece of software that we're big fans of called Evernote. And I always like to be very open and honest with all of you. My personal preference is Evernote, but that doesn't mean that I don't accept that everyone has different opinions and needs, and there are frankly quite a few people for whom OneNote may be a better solution. It is a free piece of software. You get it. I think I have it already preloaded here, or I had it preloaded. Oh, I did. There we go. You get it by going to OneNote.com. It's a free download. You can download it, of course, again, on the Mac or the PC. It will detect what operating system you're on, so you just go over here to free download, and it walks you through a very simple process. You do need to have a Microsoft account just so that it can sync your data. And basically what this is it's a sort of a hybrid between a notebook and Word, a little bit of Excel, a little bit of PowerPoint, but it lives on the cloud. So what that means is that if I have different notebooks here on my computer and then I'm away, I can pull up my iPad or if you have an Android tablet, whatever it may be, and you can get the same data and alter it, share it with friends, that kind of thing. I find it especially great for students more than anything, just because you can have, for example, a different notebook for every subject, and certainly a lot lighter than having to carry a physical notebook. Remember those days back when I was a kid. So let's go over everything here. So I want to first talk a little bit about the hierarchy of the file structure here. So at the very top end, we have notebooks right here. So you can see here I have, and these are all, of course, just example notebooks. They're not real. So we have David's notebook, recipes, school, tech topics, design ideas. Within a notebook, you have something called sections. So for example, if I go here into recipes, I can have one for appetizers, one for dinner entrees, one for breakfast items and desserts. And then within these, we have pages. And those you'll see here on the right-hand side. Okay, so I can go back and forth between my various recipes right here, which are all fake. There is actually another structure. Not everyone needs it, but if you basically right-click in this area right here, you can create a new section or a new section group. I should have reversed that. So it's just basically gives you another level, of another subgenre. So if you want to add that, you can go to new. Let's go to new section group, and let's say I could do gluten free, and then within that I could do appetizers, desserts, etc. So if you need it, it's there. I'm going to delete it for now. Bye-bye, gluten-free. You're not real anyway. Sorry about that. One of the things I do like about OneNote, and let's just create a new page here, is that it's completely non-linear. So unlike a normal Word document where you would start at the top, with this you can basically click anywhere and just start typing like that. So you can kind of move things around however you want. It's also incredibly versatile as far as talking to other file formats. So if I'm, let's say, doing some sort of a project and I need to bring in a Word document, or I need to bring in an image, a PDF, really whatever you want other than a program, you can just literally drag it and drop it right here. It's very, very easy. So it's great for that, and then you can reorder things just by dragging and dropping them. It's basically a text box. That's all it is. So that's one thing I love about it. I want to go over navigation within this application, starting with up here. Okay, this part here is referred to as the ribbon. And you can customize the ribbon. You also have another section down here just below it. This is called the Quick Access Toolbar, which can also be customized. By default, I think it only comes with 1 or 2 items. I will be showing you how to do that, of course, today. So let's go to File, just to go over. Sorry if you can hear the birds in the background. I have the door open. Under File, one of the things you'll notice is that all of your different notebooks can have different settings. And one of the items that's right up front is you can collaborate with people on these notebooks. So for any of you who need to work with someone and kind of bring your notes together, this is a great way to do it. If I go here into Settings, you can see we have a way to manually sync it, share it. I can close the notebook out or go into Properties. Okay, basically property is very simple. It's just going to ask you, what color you want the notebook to be, the location. So by default, this stores your data in Microsoft's OneDrive. Formerly, was it something else? Anyway, but one of the questions someone brought up the other day, someone had mentioned, well, what if you don't want it to be stored on the cloud? You can change it. You can make it local. The other thing you could always do if you wanted is, let's say you're not a fan of OneDrive, you could move the location of this to like Dropbox or Google Drive, any of those. It's not really an issue. Let's hit cancel. Go back to File. Here under New, this is where you're going to go to create a new notebook. So you just simply type in the name here. Okay, so I could say maybe movies that I want to view, and it'll just create a blank notebook. I think we all know what Open does. You can print all of these things, of course. Sharing, okay? You can collaborate with other people through all sorts of different methods. If you need to export any of these pages or notebooks, you can do so. For example, as a PDF, which is probably the most commonly used format when it comes to exporting data. Send all of your different options here. So these will tie in with Outlook. So if you want to email it out, you can do that. And then we have our account and options. I do want to talk briefly about options. Really, I think only 1 or 2 things three things that I wanted to mention here. So under the options, if you go here into display, this is just my own personal recommendation. The second item here by default is not checked. Create all new pages with rule lines. Did you notice in the background when I pulled up a new document, it looked like white line paper? I like that. For whatever reason, it helps my brain organize. So if you also like that, you might want to consider checking that option there. The other thing I want to talk about are these 2 items right here, customizing the ribbon and the quick access toolbar. So again, the ribbon is this section at the very, very top, and you can put in whatever you want. You can see here I took away history. I just don't think it's the kind of thing a lot of people are going to be using necessarily. But you have all these different tabs, and your various features are over here on the left-hand side. So you can add or remove these to any of these various tabs. Okay, pretty much they're all done for you. But the other one I want to give you is the Quick Access Toolbar. And again, that's this little bar right here. I only have a few items. So for example, you can see I have back, which is right here. I think that comes by default. Undo. Hopefully everyone here knows the universal command for undo on a PC. It is Control-Z as in zebra. That will take you back in time. Audio record. Another feature I tend to think being very, very cool for students. You can embed audio files within this file. So if I'm getting a homework assignment and I need to remember what it is, instead of jotting it down, I can actually just hit with one button. It'll start recording my audio and play it back later, and it's embedded within the notebook. It's a very, very cool feature, and I will show you it later. File attachment, I tend to think is being a very handy thing to have easy access to. Again, if you want to bring in something like a PDF or an image, it is very, very easy to do so. And print. I don't think we need to go over that. If there are any other items that you would like to bring over to the Quick Access toolbar, for example, if I want to record a quick video clip, you just simply click on it from this list and hit Add, and voila, when I hit OK, it is magically there. I think we covered everything in File. Let's talk about these different ribbon tabs. So under Home, we have our basic formatting options, copy, cut, paste. Okay, I don't think we need to go over that. Our text formatting options, including the font size, alignment options are right over here. If you ever need something, let me just go to a new page. If you ever need to do bullet points, some people like to do bullet points, you can just click right here and you'll go, from one bullet point. Sorry, let me re-enable that. You get the idea. A numbered list you have right here. One of the things I know a lot of couples will use this for is a lot of couples will use this as a grocery list, because, one person could be at the grocery store or the other person could be at the grocery store. This way, both can collaborate on one list, and then whoever happens to be there can immediately see what the other one had added to that list. Style options. In case you didn't know, you see this bottom arrow right here. When you click on that, it gives you all of your options. This isn't really the kind of thing you're going to probably be using in OneNote. It's more, these style options are more used for like books, when you have to have specifically heading 1, heading 2. Not the kind of thing you're going to be using typically in this type of a document. And then we have tags, and tags can be very handy, especially when you start to get a lot of notes. So for example, let's say I wanted to save someone's phone number. Okay, perfect example. So you can see we have a whole bunch of different items here. One of them is probably right in front of me, and I'm just not seeing it. Here it is, phone number. So this just kind of tags it as a phone number, and what's great is because of the search options, I can later on search for phone numbers, and it'll just pop right up. So I can type in that classic Hollywood phone number, 555-555-5555. We have a to-do tag, very handy. So if you need to add just like a checkbox, got it done. Find tags, I want to make sure you know that. Your find button is right here. Okay, so you can, there you go, phone number right there. So you can choose the tag name, whatever you want to search for that. Email page right there. If we go over here to view, okay, we have these options here. There's different viewing ways that you can show it. I'm not at all a fan of the full page view or dock to desktop. I find it very, I guess, disorienting. I just don't like it. You can change the background color of your paper, digital paper. If you, like I said, if you like to have ruled lines, this is your button for that. Let me turn the page color off. Easier to read. They also have different types here. So if I click on that little arrow below it, you can see, we can have something that's a little bit more like graph paper. Again, just different strokes for different folks. Paper size and zoom options. I don't think we really need to go over here. The Send to OneNote tool is handy, and I will show you that in a little bit. Insert. So this is, for example, you can add a table. And for me to show you a table, I should probably not be in this kind of paper. Let's just go to none. So if I want to add a table, I can click on it and basically just draw out, how many cells it needs to be by. So if I need it to be a 3x2, I just click there and I have my table. And as you type, it will automatically expand, but you can also manually expand it just by clicking and dragging on the corners. Let's see here. That's our layout. Let's go back to insert. File attachment, just another shortcut you have here. Screen clipping. So if you need to take a screenshot, here's what it will do. When you click this, it will hide the application. So now what I would do is I would just kind of use my cursor is turned into a crosshair. So let's say I needed to take a photo of these icons at the top. I would just click and drag, and there you go. It's now in my document. Pictures, online pictures. I couldn't think of an example where you would need this, but you have instant access to clip art, for example. So if I need a quick online picture of a dog, voila, I've got my Poochie. Oh dear, I hope you didn't see one of the images that it just pulled up there. That should not come up from just simply typing in the word dog. The dogs were doing something. If you have a scanner, you can go right from here and you can launch your scanner and it'll just scan the document into OneNote. Hyperlinks to websites. I did want to demonstrate this for you real quickly. So we have record audio. The second you click it, it's going to start. See, the second you click it, it starts to record you. We click stop up here, and if I hit playback, see, the second you click it, it starts. You get the idea. So that audio file is now right here. Okay, so I can, again, move that wherever I want, and when I need to play it, I would just simply click on it. There's a little play button right here. See this? You get the idea. Back here to insert. Video, same thing. It'll use your webcam. I am not looking my prettiest right now, so I will deny you that ability to see me right now. Add date and time. Very nice. Again, for students, if you need to add a date and time stamp, it's very easy. They have different page templates. Okay, you can find those all here. So, for example, we have different academic styles here. So let's just go to like a business one because I've been talking a lot about school. So let's say I need a simple meeting notes template. Okay, so you can have agenda, attendees. Okay, works basically the same as Word, where you have different templates that you can choose from. Equations and symbols, that's a little bit more advanced than what we're going to go over today. Drawing options. The drawing options are not great on the computer, to be honest with you, but they are really good if you have a tablet. So one thing I will give them credit on is that I tend to think that the iPad version or other tablet, I'm just saying iPad because it's the most commonly used, it's not bad. It's really, really good. So if you have a stylus for your device, you can use a pen tool here. Just make sure you check out the width of the brush, because otherwise it can be a little bit tough to write. And you can draw. Wasn't that beautiful? All right, shapes you have right over here. Okay, a couple other things we have over here. Reviewing options. These are pretty cool. I think I actually skipped over this in the last class. So of course you have spelling and a thesaurus. You also have this really cool ability to translate. And students, this is definitely one way you could definitely cheat. So with this, what you can do is type in text. Hold on, I got to go back to, I have to switch back to type. There we go. So let me type in, hello, how are you doing today? Question mark. Okay, I can highlight that text, go over here to translate selected text. It's going to ask me from what language to what language. And let's see here. I've said from English to Spanish, insert. And there you go. Pretty cool. And as you can see here from this list, we have quite a few languages that we have access to. Everything from Arabic to Welsh. So you've got quite a few different options there. If you want, you can password protect these different items. So if you want to have a notebook that has, maybe your passwords in it, it's not really the method that I would recommend, but you can password protect a notebook. Okay. So that's the base. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to go there. So that's kind of the basic navigation of that. Next thing I want to do is mention an add-on that I think tends to be a very good idea for a lot of people. So depending on what you're using this for, it's really nice to basically have this as a method to just organize. And a lot of times, at least for me, this is actually how I do my classes, except just with Evernote. When I get my ideas for classes, usually I start off and I'm on some sort of an article, either on my iPad, my phone, or my computer. So one of the tools that will help you with this, and you just have to go to it on each of your web browsers so you have it across the board, is OneNoteClipper.com. I think that's the direct URL. Yep, I was right. No, not available. Could have sworn that was it. All right, let's do a quick Google search. I could have sworn that was the direct address. Oh, sorry, OneNote.com/Clipper. I knew I was close. So what this will do is basically integrate with your web browser so that when you have something that you want to save, like let's say, for example, let me just go back. Let's say I'm on foodnetwork.com, and let's say I find a good recipe for something. Let's just throw something here. Come on, just give me cheesy potato pie. Not my thing. So when you go to the article and you have something you want to save, If you look up here at the top right corner of my web browser, we have this little icon for OneNote. You just click on it. It might be a little slow because I think it's got to still log me in. I've noticed sometimes we get a little bit of a delay with this thing working. Let me just describe to you. So what it will do is basically show you your various notebooks, and you can tell it exactly where you want it to save. And if you have different sections set up, so again, if you have a notebook called recipes and then a different section for each different type, you could save it into each of those. There we go. Good. Glad that worked. And you can save it as a full page if you want the whole website. You can do a region, which is basically a screenshot, or just the text. It'll just extract the text. That's all you get. And this is what I was talking about here with location. So all my different recipes, I can see kind of a breakdown right there. So I can save it wherever I want. Pretty cool, right? Let's just do right now, let's say, what is this? We'll call this that could arguably be a breakfast too. Let's just call it a dinner entree. Hit clip. And if we go back into OneNote, it usually takes a minute or two just to sync up. And actually, it probably is not going to sync up because I noticed there's some sort of a password issue, unless it's magically fixed itself. By the way, Shift F9 is the way to force it to refresh. Yeah, it looks like it signed me out at one point, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But it will just appear right here in OneNote. Sidenote is another feature that comes with this. And if you choose to use it, it's not really something I would actually recommend. I just want to at least acknowledge that it exists. It goes down here at the very bottom right corner, and it's basically the exact same thing as the OneNote Clipper. It's just that it's for the whole computer. It's not just for the web. But I tend to think for a lot of you out there, if you're going to do this, it's going to be the web. So I just want to at least acknowledge that. Let's see here. One feature I want to also acknowledge that's really nice about that OneNote Clipper. So here's an example recipe that I pulled in the other day. Is that unlike Evernote, if you scroll to the bottom of the article, it gives you the exact URL. Pretty cool feature. I don't know why they never did that on Evernote. What I'd like to do at this point is just kind of give you a little idea of how this looks on the iPad. And again, I'm using iPad purely as an example. If you have a different tablet, just understand it's basically the same thing. So give me 2 seconds here just to launch our software so that I can do this for you. So let's go into mirror mode, and we should be ready to rock and roll right now. So here we have OneNote. Let's go full screen. So as you can see here, it's very friendly, and I want to especially show you this draw option. Okay, so we have the whole iPad that we can work with. We can choose what kind of tool. I'll use a pen right there. We have a thickness adjustment right here. So if I want to make sure it's nice and skinny because it's easier to read, I can do that. The other part that's nice is that everyone holds a pen differently. If you do, in fact, use a stylus, and there's palm rejection built into this, so you can tell it, of these different methods, how do you hold a pen, and it will know. For example, in this case, this is how I tend to write. It will reject that section of the iPad. So even if it feels something being, pressed down, it will ignore it. The only thing where this can definitely become a problem is one of the multi-touch gestures on the iPad is if you take 4 fingers, okay, and you swipe back and forth, it will move back and forth between apps. It can be very easy to accidentally trigger that. So that might be something you might want to just be aware of. So if I go into Draw, you can see here that's not even close to my signature. I'm also using my left hand, which is a stupid idea. But you can kind of see how it works here. If you want to hide this little sidebar on the right-hand side, we have, see the little full screen button, top right? Makes that disappear. And what I also love here is that it's like, think of this as a never-endingly large piece of paper. I can zoom out just by pinching my fingers together, and it zooms out. Okay, so I can constantly get more room here. So if you're taking notes and let's reject that. So if you're taking notes, something like that, you can really zoom in and draw it, and then zoom out to kind of adjust your grip. So that's that. What I would like to do at this point is, for those of you who are here live right now, I would like to take a moment and kind of answer all of your questions. For those of you who've been tuning in, thank you for watching us. You can check out all of our videos, of course, on our website at pcclassesonline.com. If you happen to have been watching this on YouTube, we do, of course, appreciate it if you click that little like button. If you didn't know, where that is really important is you're helping other people find the video. That's basically what it does. So thank you for watching, everyone. This is David A. Cox with pcclassesonline.com. Class dismissed.